So it's happened again. We've had a tragic plane crash. It's taking place less than 24 hours ago. This was 6:30 p.m. on Friday night, January 31st. We have a plane, a medevac plane, a Learjet that was carrying a young girl and her mother, and then the passengers and crew. This plane went down in Philadelphia during rush hour, about 6:30 p.m. I'm going to bring you some reporting on that right now, and then as I have the latest, which would be, I guess, within the last 2 hours of this crash. Now, this is 2 days, tragically 2 days after what's considered one of the worst plane crashes in a generation that took place in D.C., killing 64 people with the Black Hawk helicopter and the passenger plane. But let's talk about what's happening right now, currently on the situation with Philadelphia and this another yet tragic incident. Time to Talk podcast. Let's get into it. Medical transport jet crashed in Philadelphia shortly after takeoff on Friday. 6 people were on board the Learjet plane when it went down, authorities said. The aircraft had departed Northeast Philadelphia Airport and was headed to Springfield Branson National Airport in Missouri. The Learjet, it was a Learjet 55, had 6 people on board when it went down shortly after departing Northeast Philadelphia Airport, according to Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA. Flight operator Jet Rescue Air Ambulance said in a statement that 4 crew members and 2 passengers, pediatric patient and her mother, were on the flight. It said there were no survivors. Mexico's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said on X that all 6 were Mexican. Video footage of the incident circulating on social media seems to show the plane hurtling toward the ground, followed by a large explosion. I'm going to show you that in a second. Data from Flight TAR 24 shows the aircraft, which was headed to Springfield Branson National Airport in Missouri, had been in service for 43 years. It shows the plane took off shortly after 6 p.m. local time and crashed in less than a minute, less than 3 miles from the end of the runway. The FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, have since launched. They've since launched an investigation into the incident. In a post on Truth Social, President Donald Trump said, "So sad to see the plane go down in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. More innocent souls lost. Our people are totally engaged. First responders are already being given credit for doing a great job. More to follow. God bless you all." And again, this incident comes days after an American Airlines flight crashed into a military helicopter near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, killing 67 people. Let's take a look at, because I saw this. I was sitting, my wife, we were watching something, and then I browsed X for a second, and I saw this footage probably 10 minutes after it happened. I saw this, and I was like, holy, this was unbelievable. Let's just take a look at some of the video. So here's a video. There's the explosion. Let's try to, you're going to see it's going to start over, and you'll see the plane coming down out of the sky, and it looks like, so there it is. You can see it in the background there, and boom. Now let me go to a different shot of that. There's several different camera. Here's another one. You really can't see the plane, but the one with the ring cam, the door ring cam in particular. Here's another shot of that explosion right there. And then there's one in particular. Let's see if I can find it. Let's take a look at this one. If you look to the top right corner of the screen there, you can see it come in. It looks like it's coming in on it like it was on fire already. Look, you see it come down, and boom, there's the crash. So I don't know what happened. The fact that, I mean, this is new information to me. This is latest information saying that it had crashed 1 minute after taking off. That is something that's new reporting that I just saw that will need to be confirmed. But wow. And again, this is 2 days after that horrific crash. Now, what I'm hoping is that we don't go down the DEI path with this, the way Trump has done so far with that Black Hawk helicopter, American Airlines plane. You know, I think that was totally irresponsible. It has nothing to do with the situation. Now, if you're going to question whether or not people involved in the flight tower, now, because apparently one of the stories updating, going back to the Black Hawk helicopter, one of the pieces of reporting has suggested that the air traffic controller working at that particular point, there's supposed to be 2. There should have been one that was dealing with the helicopter and one dealing with the actual plane. Normally you have one person per aircraft. In this case, it's been reported that the supervisor allowed one of the controllers to leave. I don't know if it was perhaps their shift was ending or something was happening, or that person maybe was tired, or something happened. And the responsibility fell to one air traffic controller to manage both vehicles, both the helicopter and the actual plane. So that's a situation, where protocols have changed, and that might have had something to do with this actual crash. But going back to the DEI thing, if you want to question whether or not the person responsible, the perfect person in the air traffic tower, was qualified or not, then question whether that person was qualified. Do your investigation to find out how long has that person been working, how long has that person been involved, what are their qualifications, where do they come from. Don't look at every black person, every woman, every possible person who might be gay or whatever it is, and to just assume that they're not qualified. Let's not do that. Let's not go down that path. I think it was totally irresponsible for Trump to have a press conference and spend a significant amount of time talking about DEI hires and Buttigieg and whether or not he's qualified. I just think that was totally irresponsible, especially considering the nature of tragedy of this crash and the amount of people that died. I thought that was really bad. So I also don't want to see the same thing happening. I'm hoping that we don't get reporting of it's possible DEI. That's why this plane in Philadelphia went down. It's really, really bad. I see quotes: a large fire burned in the wake of the crash. Vehicles and homes and even people in the area could be seen on fire. That's true. I actually did see the video of a man. It looked like a man emerging from a fire, and he was on fire, walking. I'm not going to show that, of course. If you're interested in seeing that, you want to look on X, you'll find that video. It's out there, and it was terrible to see. So I'm going to keep reporting on this. I'm going to see what happened with this plane, why it went down, why it looks like it was already on fire or it exploded or something, and how it went down 1 minute after takeoff. I guess 3 miles from the runway, whatever it was that it had taken off from. But really, again, more tragedy. It's becoming, you're seeing things online that are suggesting all these different conspiracies. I've already seen that with the actual American Airlines and the Black Hawk helicopter thing. I've seen different reporting on this, and it could be that, and the Black Hawk helicopter may have been remote controlled, all these different things. And I want to, caution people not to do that and not to speculate on all these things. But at the same point, it becomes really frustrating and really, you're full of anxiety and terror and fear, knowing like how precarious everything is right now and having all these different events take place and this much death and destruction. It does become overwhelming at times. So I suggest people simply take a time to breathe and to appreciate life, appreciate your family, and appreciate things. And prayers go out to people who are suffering and people who have recently suffered in these deadly crashes. Let's hope we don't see more of this, because then the conspiracy theories will just continue to ramp up. Anyway, Time to Talk podcast reporting on this. I will do another video follow-up and update as information becomes clear on this and see what happens. Subscribe to the channel to stay alert for that. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like on the way out. It really helps things and allows me to keep going and keep reporting and putting these videos out. I truly appreciate that. I'll see you on the next Time to Talk podcast. Peace.